Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sunny day here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Welcome to the ALC Game of the Week. It's your Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Clemson Tigers. John, how we feeling?
We're feeling pretty good, Charlie. First time ever I'm calling a lacrosse game. I don't know what to expect, but I'm sure it's going to be a great time.
And you know what? It should be. Both very solid teams coming into this game. Clemson 7-2, Tennessee 6-2. Just looking at the lineups, playmakers on both sides. Looking at Tennessee, Mason Kane, 17 goals on the season, followed by Thomas Guys at 17 goals on the season as well. They're both the assist leaders, with Kane with 22 and Thomas Guys at 16. Looking at Clemson, they've got some playmakers too. I'm specifically looking at Holden Marison, 32 goals on the season. John, that's quite incredible.
That is quite incredible. 32 goals. I mean, that's nearly double what the top players in Tennessee have. So it's pretty impressive as we have the opening face-off here. I guess it is a face-off here in lacrosse, and a lot of roughhousery so far.
Absolutely. Remember, John, just like hockey, but on the grass. Here we go. Game underway. Tennessee pushing early over in Clemson zone, looking to get their offense started here. Clemson, a very good defensive team. We'll see if Tennessee can penetrate this defense and hopefully go up a win here in Knoxville. Controlling back behind the own net. Sullivan Clark back there facilitating for the Vols. It's scooped up, a ground ball picked up by number 15 Thomas Guys. Blocked away though, and now Clemson go the other way with it. Not able to hold on to it. Guys with some good defense. So it's picked up by Guys. Controlled back up top by Mason Kane. Guys and Kane, the dynamic duo for Tennessee as they look to get something going. Rudo with it, makes a move, looks to get down low, doesn't like what he sees. Back behind over to Clark. Thinking about it now, making their way and wrapping around. It's the Volunteers. Ball goes back over to Kane as Kane will try to make a move. Deeks, well defended. It's not there. So far, a good defensive stance by Clemson. Still looking to get in there. It's Rudo for Tennessee as he makes a couple of spin moves. Takes a shot, block, a good save, and a good sign early on from the Clemson Tigers here in this one. It was John Hennessy with the save, knocked it in. Tennessee looking to still get one in there. Controlling back up top with it.
That was a great save by Hennessy there. Quick response there as that one gets down low. Another great save from Hennessy. Looks like a hit with his knee there as Tennessee continues to press, but it can't get past this Clemson defense so far.
Absolutely, this Clemson defense is absolutely smothering as Tennessee just likes to get one in there, and they do! Getting the party started very early on in this lacrosse team. In this lacrosse game, the Volunteers get up on the board, and guess who? It's Guys. Guys gets his 18th goal on the season, and Tennessee gets on the board very early on in this game.
Great goal there from Guys. That one just shot right below Hennessy's right foot there, bounced off the ground, but it rolls into the net. And Guys, now the leading goal scorer on Tennessee, at least so far in this game. And Tennessee off to a great start here. They had the pressure going on early, but now the Volunteers with a 1-0 lead. Let's see what Clemson could do to respond.
And you know, it was a really good setup. It was bound to happen. Tennessee wrapped around a couple of times. There were just multiple opportunities. Clemson was not able to hold them off. But we'll see if they can maybe get another one here. Clemson, it looks like they've waken up a little bit. The huddle, it looked like the team was fired up. As Clemson now controls in neutral zone. It's brought up by number 5 for Clemson as he wraps around. It's controlled by Romano. And Romano, he's going to make his way back over to the middle. Ball now brought up by the Tigers. Looking for something. The Tigers, they do it so well. They're able to really just get past the defense so far. But right now, John, it's been all Tennessee as far as possession time here. If I had the exact number of seconds down to the milliseconds, I'd tell you, but I don't. But what I can say is Tennessee's controlling this game. Yeah, Tennessee's controlling this game. We saw a little bit of a turnover there from Clemson as Tennessee gets the ball right back as it went out of bounds behind the goal. And it causes a change in possession as Clemson has their own turnover here, and Tennessee can definitely
capitalize on this and score another goal and try to increase their lead.
Tennessee over in Clemson zone. A lot of back and forth passing. So far, Tennessee's looked very good on the passing. Not a lot of mistakes, not a lot of errors. Very clean with this ball. Looking to get in there. Clemson. Some good defense up top. Tobias, he's waiting for it in the middle, calling for it. Trying to just get free. It's Schroll. Jake Schroll, a shot just on the side. Hennessy didn't really get a piece of it. It went over to the side, and now they'll play it back up. And it'll be a ground ball for number 24, Mason Kane. Here comes Kane. Now again, Tennessee, they are absolutely just dominating in their own zone. John, what do you want to see here from Tennessee as this game progresses to continue to keep this ball over in Clemson zone and apply pressure? Is a lot of good nifty moves and a good save by Hennessy.
Well, I'm not a aficionado on lacrosse, but if Tennessee wants to keep them keep attacking in their zone, they can't be doing what they just did now and have some turnovers, as that one stops just short of the goal. It looks like it didn't go in. I believe Gornick, who is the goalie for Tennessee, just stops that at the goal line. But, yeah, for Tennessee, they can't be having turnovers. They need to stay in the offensive zone. They need to make some great passes and get some wide open looks to put some in the back of the net.
And, you know, Gornick, he had a save, almost like a hockey save, was able to stick his leg out, almost blocked that with his knee, I believe. An incredible effort to just keep that ball out of the net. And right now, Tennessee's going to continue to be up 1-0 in this game. So far, a clean sheet for Gornick. The Volunteers pressing the Tigers, looking for an open shot. It's number 38 with a nice one. Hennessy saves it. Salazar thought he could sneak it through. Hennessy read it like a book, as they'll now come the other way. It's Schroll. Schroll makes a move, looks to get it in there, and Schroll scores! Give it to him! Jake Schroll firing up this crowd in Tennessee. They'll get up 2-0 here in Knoxville.
That's number 14 on the year from Jake Schroll. Not one of the top 2 goal scorers on the team, but definitely in the top 5. He's got a lot of goals this year, and that one gets past Hennessy, as Tennessee now with a 2-0 lead. And I wonder if John Hennessy is looking a little shaky right now. Maybe he's a little bit flustered. What can Tennessee do to keep up the pressure and try to keep Hennessy on his feet here? Because right now it looks like they're getting into his head a little bit.
Absolutely. Face-off won by... as we'll get a penalty here. No penalty called. Just ref resetting there. So Clemson will control. Clemson wins the face-off there. They'll look to set up their offense. They haven't really been able to. So, again, there was only one effort that they made in order to get that ball over Tennessee zone, but it was saved by Gornick. And, again, John, what a save that was.
It was a great save there. He's got a couple of good saves in this game. It could definitely be 4-0, 5-0 Tennessee if it weren't for the save. But we got a timeout here, a little stop of the clock. But right now, Tennessee is looking like the more powerful team.
Absolutely. And Jake Schroll, he had a phenomenal move over there in Clemson zone. He was able to sneak it in there and get his 14th goal of the season.
14th goal, like I said, one of the top goal scorers on this team. Great player all around. And he wears number 1 for a reason, because, you know, he's number 1.
Clemson, now a rare sighting, controlling for the first time over in Tennessee zone as a miscue there on offense. They'll try to scoop it up. 2 players collide over there by the sideline. Looks like it was number 24, Mason Kane, running into Luke Romano over there. So now Tennessee will control. It's Kane with it. Kane, he'll get it over to Rudo. So one thing important to point out with this Volunteers team is that they are very patient, John. They're very patient with that ball, especially when they're back behind the net of Hennessy. And I think that's really why they're controlling this game. They're not making any premature passes. They're very smart with their shots, very selective with their shots. And so far, I mean, 2 goals.
It's paid off, definitely. Like you said, they are very shot with their smarts. They're very smart with their shots. They're very smart with their passes. And that's what you need in games like these, where a simple turnover could change the entire landscape of the game. And it's what Tennessee needs in this moment. It's what they have shown so far in this game, what they've shown throughout the season.
Clemson with the ball over in the Volunteer zone, looking to get up on the board, trying to just get one. It's Tyler Skiznicki. Skiznicki gets it up top. A shot on goal. It's saved. And again, standing his ground, it's Kyler Gornick for the Volunteers. The shot came from Ian Jackson, wasn't able to get it through. Now still brought up by Superzinski. Superzinski tries to get it in there. Off the back of one of the defenders, it looks like he got a piece of it. It was Luke Harden for the Volunteers. Blocked it with his back so far. Harden, he's been very good defensively in this game. His presence doesn't show up on the stat sheet. However, he's having a phenomenal start to this match here in Knoxville on this beautiful Friday night. Another shot and they score! Just as we were saying, they haven't been able to get anything going. They do. It's number 8, Jack Wonder, with the wonderful goal. That's his 9th goal on the season.
It is number 8, Jack Wonder. His 15th goal in the season.
15th. Incredible. I mean, the amount of goal scorers on this Clemson team, they have a plethora of offensive talent. However, they haven't been really to get anything going in this game until now, getting a goal about halfway through this first quarter.
And as I said, a simple turnover can change the landscape of this game, as we saw Tennessee turn it over, which led to that Clemson possession, which led to the Clemson goal. And we got some celebrations here on the Clemson bench. But now it looks like the tides have turned, and Clemson seems to be the one with all the momentum. And we'll definitely see if they can tie this game up and maybe get even more against Tennessee.
Here comes Clemson, full steam ahead. Gornick tried to knock that one free. Buffon facilitating down there, gets it back up top to Wonder. Wonder with it, back over to Buffon. He couldn't hold on to it. Scoops it up though, still controlling. Now back behind the net of Gornick. So Clemson starting to figure things out here. Try to make a nice play, pass out in front. It was well defended. You know what, John, it's funny. Kind of a similar play style with Tennessee defensively. Likewise to the hockey team here in defensively. They really try to crowd that middle, and right now they've done a really good job because Clemson, they got a good shot. It was a beautiful shot by Wonder, but they're making it very difficult for Clemson to really get in there and get quality shots.
Yeah, it speaks to the quality of Wonder's shot that we did see. It was a long shot that ended up going in the back of the net, and they're forced to take those long shots because Tennessee has been basically guarding the perimeter, it seems. And like you said, me and you are hockey guys, and we're seeing a lot of hockey comparisons in games like these, and a lot of the same criteria and moments. But Tennessee, they need to keep defending that perimeter, keep forcing Clemson to take shots from the outside, because that's where they'll have the most amount of time to make a great defensive stops on those types of shots.
Tennessee controlling now over in Clemson zone. With it now back behind the net was Sullivan Clark. We'll get it up to number 15, Thomas Guys. Guys down low. Pass is intended for Rudo. Just missed it. Clark up top to Kane. Looking for it. Guys takes a shot. Hennessy saves it. That one's going to go far out of play. As they'll reset here. Clock winding down. So just under 4 minutes to go here in this ALC game of the week. Now both these teams in this conference, Clemson up top, Tennessee fourth, so now Clark trying to get it in there. Up top, a shot! A little to the left, just goes out of play.
Some great shots here for Tennessee. They've been keeping the ball as best as they can. They're not letting it go out of bounds behind the net, which would cause a turnover, only to the side, so they maintain possession. That one's just a little bit high. That one from Tommy Rudo. But Tennessee still gets to throw it back in from out of bounds, and like I said, clock winding down here in the first quarter, 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go or so. Still a 2-1 lead for Tennessee. It looked like Clemson was gaining some momentum in this game, as that one nearly stolen from Rudo. And it is, as Clemson gains possession here, and they have a chance to tie this up.
What a good heads-up defensive play. Rudo, he thought he had it. He was very well defended, lost that ball. Clemson will come the other way now with a little bit of momentum here as time winds down. Looking at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in this first quarter of play. Clemson now with Ian Jackson up top, looking to take a shot, misses it. Gornick might have got a piece on it.
There's another one of those forced perimeter shots that Tennessee has been causing Clemson to take because they just can't get inside and get a good open look on Gavlik.
So Harden with some good defense, scooped up, almost a ground ball, can't control. Clark trying to get it. It's a frenzy. Clark will scoop it up, misses it again, and now controlled by Clemson finally. Will Leonard for Clemson picks it up, gets it over to Superzinski. Superzinski down in the middle, number 61 for Clemson. They get a shot, blocked again.
That was a big hit by Grant Gruchot. There in the defensive zone, it causes the turnover as Tennessee takes the ball over. That was just an absolute body. Lays the man on the ground and no penalties whatsoever.
The Vols will control here with Thomas Guys. And also get it back over to Tobias. Tobias waiting to set up this offense here for Tennessee. Here they go. Played back by Clark behind the zone. Now to Schroll. Schroll tried to sneak one in there. Couldn't do so. Got to play. So again, as this game goes on, John, we talked about Tennessee a lot. What do you think Clemson really needs to do to find opportunities, find open lanes where they can, you know, hopefully get some quality shots here in this game? It seems like they haven't been able to do so.
Clemson definitely needs some wide open shots, some good offense, but they also need a little bit of improvement on defense as Tennessee, with a third goal in this first quarter, with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go, as they regain a 2-goal lead. Wonderful shot there. And the Volunteers look to be picking apart the Clemson defense so far early on in this game.
Absolutely. We were speaking too soon. What does Clemson need to do offensively? But I think the important question is, what do they need to do defensively? Because, again, they are letting a lot of good, easy shots for the Volunteers. And right now, the Volunteers, they're capitalizing. Ground ball picked up by number 14 for the Tigers, Adam Neal. Adam Neal back and forth with Logan Jordan. As here's Lennon Snyder. Back over behind the own zone. Holden Morrison holding on to that ball, sticking to his name. So Buffon back and forth with Neal. Neal tries to get it back to Brzezinski. Now over back to Jackson. Wonder. Buffoon on the right side. Again, Clemson really struggling to find an open lane here. 15 seconds to go. Running out of time. And it's going to be controlled. Ball's thrown all the way up the field. A Hail Mary. Not able to hold on to it, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. So just to update the scoreboard, as it seems to be lagging on us a little bit. Tennessee 3, Clemson 1. John, what do you like so far?
I like how lacrosse works so far. Like I said, this is the first game I've ever watched, I've ever commentated. It's pretty similar to hockey, but it's very enjoyable. And so far, I'm liking how both teams are playing. Tennessee's offense is looking pretty solid, getting a few goals there, some wide open lanes, getting past John Hennessy, who has quite a few saves on the season himself. Clemson needs to batten down on defense just a little bit. Maybe take what Tennessee's been doing to them and force more perimeter shots, try to get them to take longer shots so that they're less accurate. And for Tennessee, right now it's working, and they can't let that slip through them. They can't let Clemson score on turnovers and start to dominate the game, or else it's going to turn into a completely different game from what we saw in the first quarter.
Well said, John. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back shortly for the second quarter of play.
All right, that was a very short break as we are right back here for the second quarter. No breaks here in lacrosse, maybe a little bit longer one at halftime, but Tennessee, they've switched sides here. Kyle Gornick, still in goal for Tennessee, now on the right side of the field, as John Hennessy for Clemson's on the left side of the field. Clemson has taken the ball over. Jack Wonder, the lone goal scorer, number 8 for Clemson. He's got 15 now on the season, one of the top goal scorers on Clemson. As the Tigers trying to get some offense here. They've been stuck on the perimeter because of this Tennessee defense. These long sticks as Ian Jackson nearly got through. Does a little spinorama. Tries to take a shot. Fake pass. That one goes on the ground. Great save by Gornick. And Tennessee takes right back over.
It's a little early to give out an MVP, but so far it's really looking like Gornick deserves it. An incredible save. Again, he's been so good and so disciplined back there in the net, being very patient, waiting for the shots to come. And just like that, he makes a highlight reel save there for the Volunteers.
Yeah, great save by Gornick. He's been absolutely solid so far this game, as well as throughout the season. 67 saves going into this game. He's got more saves than goals allowed, which is what you can hope for a goaltender or goalie.
Absolutely, it's incredible. That's actually a crazy stat to even fathom.
As he saves another one, falling down on the ground, hitting his legs. Clemson turns the ball over as Tennessee gets it right back.
So one thing just pay attention to, number 26, Holden Morrison for Clemson, 32 goals on the season. You would love to see him really get going in this one, especially if you're Clemson. Head coach Andrew Tobias, I'm sure he's going to talk to his team and look to get his star players more involved.
Looks like there's a penalty as one of the umpires threw a flag down, but another goal for Tennessee during the penalty. I don't know how they're going to figure this one out.
Volunteers making it 4 here in Knoxville. What a shot there. So early
Looks like
on.
number 42, Michael Matarazzo. That might be his first goal on the year.
So the Volunteers really finding their groove here in this game. And it's so important to do that, especially as the season winds down. Looking for another one. Good passing back and forth. Hennessy robs him. Gets it back up the other way. Clemson looking to respond. It's Neal. Neal gets it over to Snyder. Snyder gets it back down low as he's going to look to wrap around here. Clemson now trying to control the pace a little bit. They're going to have to do that. You're down 3 goals in this game. Holding on to it now. It's Buffon. Buffon. Back down to Snyder. Snyder with it. Wraps around. Being hassled in the zone. Trying to scoop it up. Still controlling. It's Neal. Neal will get it back up top. Looking to make a move. Now down to Wonder. Wonder's going to lose it. Now picked up by the Volunteers. They're going to come the other way with it. Scooped up by number 23, Donamic Bevialaka. The other way. A shot. Beautiful save. Hennessy reaching his leg out. The shot came from number 44 on the Volunteers. Grant Grew shot. It looks like he had a good look at it. He just wasn't able to find the back of the net. Hennessy, he's been pretty good in this game despite letting 4 goals in. The defense have just allowed way too many mistakes here for the Tigers.
Yeah, Grew shot there. Great opportunity. I think he just hit it a bit low, just a little bit outside. Hennessy tried to make a play on it, and luckily it went just outside the net, so he didn't have to try too hard. But Tennessee now taking over possession here. As that one just shot past Hennessy as well, another ground ball that goes just wide. And Tennessee's making sure it's not going out of bounds, and they're keeping possession here as they are continuing to get some good opportunities here in the Clemson net.
Another shot, not able to get it to go. So again, John said, you said it well, the Volunteers, they've been really good on the defensive side of the ball. They're really able to just stop Clemson from getting any good looks, quality shots. But that's what Clemson is doing wrong. Contradictory on the other side is a wild shot there from Schroll. Couldn't find anything there. But again, John, it just seems like Tennessee has complete control of this game right now.
Complete control. And that one's going to go right back in as well. And that makes it 5-1 Tennessee for number 51. That's pretty funny that the score now matches the number of the player that just scored.
Absolutely. Number 51, Gavin Burke. He gets one up on the board. Looks like it's his 2nd goal of the season.
16th goal on
16th goal of the season.
One of the top goal scorers here for Tennessee. Great shot there from Burke.
So almost getting up there with Mason Kane and Thomas Guys as far as goal scoring. Now Guys 18 on the season with that 1 goal earlier. As Burke now writing his name here in this game into the books.
Bad pass there for Tennessee, causes the ball to go out of bounds. Clemson takes over. They need to gather some momentum in this game, or else they're going to be falling behind very, very quickly, and it's already starting to seem that way, as is 5-1 Tennessee now. So Clemson needs to dig in and get some better quality shots, get some good open looks on net, and try to get some past Kyle Gornick here, as he's been pretty solid so far, and Clemson just can't stop turning it over.
And that's one thing they've really been struggling with in this game. It's just self-inflicted mistakes, penalties, falling asleep on defense. You would expect the number 1 team in the ALC South to really have a control on that and not make those mistakes. But right now, Tennessee is exposing them on that side of the ball.
could be a multiple number of factors as to why Clemson's not playing in their top shape. Top shape being the #1 team in the conference. They are playing on the road. There's a lot of fans here for Tennessee rooting on the Volunteers. It may be an even game on the field, but it kind of seems like it's 5,000 people against one here for Clemson, and they need to dig in and try to overcome those obstacles.
And that's all they really can do, overcome those obstacles as this game is slowly getting out of hand. Tennessee with 5 goals now. Leading goal scorers getting in on the action. Thomas Guys as a beautiful save.
Yet another
Gornick.
turnover for Clemson there, as things are just not working out for them. They're only getting about 1 or 2 shots on goal before losing the ball, losing possession, while Tennessee's getting 5, 6 opportunities, and a lot of the times one of them's going in. So Clemson needs some good shots in net. They also need some good rebounding, if we're going to use basketball terms, or ground balls, if you will, for here in lacrosse, to try to get some more opportunities on the net.
Looking to make a shot, and they do! A beautiful one! That one might go on the IG story later. A phenomenal shot. Tommy Rudo, he gets a piece of it, and it's 6-1 in this game.
6-1 Tennessee. Great shot there from Rudo, goal number 16 on the season. Another top goal scorer here for the Volunteers. There seems to be a good 5, 6 handful of guys who have double-digit goal-scoring seasons so far. Rudo is one of them. He gets that one past Tennessee as the domination for the Volunteers here in this Game of the Week lacrosse continues to grow.
Absolutely. And what a game it's proven to be. This one is proving to be a really fun one if you're a fan of Tennessee Club Lacrosse. Here they go, looking for 7. Making their way down the field, trying to sneak in. There's number 9, Max Damala. He'll hold that one himself. He'll get it back up to number 15, Thomas Guys. Guys, a star here for this Volunteer team. He'll look to be patient with this one. Reset. Back down to Clark. Clark to Guys. Now back over to Rudo. Rudo, he'll lose it for a second. He'll look to regain some gas here. Makes a nice move. Gets past his defender. Stares him down in the middle. Losing it though. Guys controls. Guys with it. Shot. Saved by Hennessy. It was a good play there all around for both those teams as 2 little kids go to scoop up that ball and bring a souvenir home. Not exactly the most interesting souvenir, I'd say, for a sporting event. However, take what you will with that. Schroll with it now. Back behind the net. He'll get it back over to Guys. Guys to Rudo. Rudo makes a move. Being defended. A shot! Scores! Tommy Rudo is his name. Gets the goal. Back to back. Knoxville, are you not entertained?
They got to be entertained after this first half performance for the Volunteers. Another one from Rudo. One of the second guy to get 2 goals for the Volunteers in this game, and the lead extends to 7-1. It is just an absolute beatdown here, and I'm surprised. I thought this was going to be a much closer game here, but it looks like only one team showed up to play today, and that's the Tennessee Volunteers.
You know, John, it's a winning culture for Tennessee club sports. A fun fact, out of all the games we've covered this year across hockey, baseball, lacrosse, we've actually only seen 4 losses. John, can you believe that?
4 losses? You counted them up?
I counted them up. We've only seen 4 total losses across all teams. 1 from baseball, 3 from hockey. The whole program. I might be off by 1 or 2. It's relative.
Yeah, I feel like we had a few more losses in hockey, or maybe it's just the ones that we've seen together.
You thought, but I don't know. It's just all around a winning program, and that's what this Tennessee Club Lacrosse team is looking to do, create a winning program. 6-2 on the season. looking to get over into the playoffs. Is Schroll now with it. Thinks about it, takes a shot. Hennessy read it well. He'll get a save there. Not fooled this time. Schroll wanted to get another one there. As Rudo, he's got 2 in this game. Back to Hennessy now. Hennessy will come out of the net and control here. He'll dump it back off over to number 23 for Clemson. They'll control. Back over to 5. It's Romano. Romano gets it up to number 34 for Clemson. Superzinski. Superzinski down low over to Wonder. So 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this game here. Tennessee up 7-1. An electric quarter as Clemson responds. Guess who? I wonder. It's Wonder. Wonder gets Clemson 2 goals now here in this game. It's now 7-2, so Clemson, some signs of life. Glad to see there's a pulse. Tennessee still controls.
Besides John Hennessy, it looks like Jack Wonder's the only one who has showed up to play here for Clemson. He's got both of their goals, and he is single-handedly keeping the Tigers in this game. So Tennessee might want to try to look to defend him just a little bit more, shut him down, because if you shut him down, maybe they'll shut the entire team down. And we're not biased here, but I don't know. I think we want Tennessee to win a little bit.
Absolutely. Clemson, glad to show some signs of life so far in this second quarter. My dog looks like it's had more sign of life, and it died about 7 years ago than this Clemson team. They have not looked awake so far, but they get a goal, so it's 7-2 as they look to inch their way back into this game. Tennessee controlling, looking to make it 8. Again, very patient team in this Volunteers lacrosse club. And right now, they've just been playing beautiful lacrosse, setting up their players, getting open opportunities, capitalizing, and just really making something happen off of Clemson mistakes. Now, Clemson, on the other hand, they have shown some signs of life. It's really all been from Wonder. And Wonder, he's really putting this Clemson team on his back. And I got to give it to John Hennessy as well. Hennessy has actually played some pretty good lacrosse despite allowing 7 goals in. This defense, they've just had a lot of defensive breakdowns.
A lot of defensive breakdowns, a lot of turnovers. Tennessee's been capitalizing on those turnovers, and not to say Tennessee's had turnovers themselves, but Clemson just hasn't been able to get good looks at the net. As we saw early on in this game, they're forced to take long shots, but it seems things might be breaking down just a little bit here for the Tennessee defense, and maybe Clemson can sneak inside, get some better opportunities on the net, as that one just goes a little bit wide of Gornick, as the Tigers want to gain a little bit of momentum here as we close out the first half with 4 minutes 50 seconds to go.
Fusaro, he had a good shot on goal that was saved by Gornick. Another pass. Looking to get something in there. Superzinski gets it back up top to number 3 for Clemson, Ian Jackson. Jackson thinking about it. The lefty wraps around. Doesn't like what he sees. Tennessee smothering defense so far. Back over to the side. Clemson calling to give it back to Wonder, as Wonder is just trying to get something going for his team, as he's got 2 goals. He's calling for it up top. It's Snyder calling for it now up top. Still with it, back behind the own zone. Tennessee, very disciplined on defense, not allowing anything through. A shot goes over to the left. It'll go out of play. So multiple Clemson players calling for it. Not able to just get it, though. A little bit of miscommunication from this Clemson Tigers team.
Yes, a lot of miscommunication for Clemson. And one thing I want to point out, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that the top goal scorer for Clemson is number 26, Holden Morrison, with 32 goals on the year, which leads both teams by over 10 goals. And I've not heard a single peep from him in this game.
Absolutely. As Clemson looking to make a move. It's shot, and it's a score! Clemson, they get on the board. A spin move. Just as we were talking about, they were kind of dead coming into this game. They've waken up a little bit. It's number 31, Nick Fusaro. He gets a little skipper down low, and they score.
First goal for Nick Fusaro here in this game. Number 4 on the year. So he's a moderate goal scorer, but he's able to get that one past Gornick, as Clemson now has 2 goals in a row, and their momentum is starting to pick up a little bit here. Tennessee's starting to slip, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being just a 2-goal lead for Tennessee here at the end of the first half.
I mean, Sean, you're absolutely right. Tennessee, they've been on fire this whole game, but Clemson, they've come back a little bit, inching their way back slowly. 2 goals here in the second quarter. So we'll get a change of possession here. Tennessee will control back behind Clemson zone. So the Volunteers, a barrage of goals here in this second quarter. As Schroll now back behind the net, over to Clark. Clark surveying, gets it up top to Rudo. And Rudo, he's had such a good game so far in this match. You expect to see more from him before time runs out in this one, and it's in the books. Looking down low, Schroll trying to find an opening. Still spinning back up to number 24, Mason Kane. Kane thinking about it, looking for anything open the middle, back to Clark down below. So Clark, he's been really facilitating back behind the net for Tennessee. As Clark now will get it up top. They'll look to get one in there. A shot, saved by Hennessy. Mason Kane thought he could fool him, he wasn't able to. And now a cross-field pass, trying to scoop it up. It's number 14, Adam Neal.
Great save there from Hennessy. Keeps Clemson's forward momentum going. 2 consecutive goals for them. A great save from Hennessy on Kane, on Mason Kane, one of the top goal scorers here for Tennessee. And Clemson, if they can get another goal here at the end of the first.
Playing without a shoe, it looks like it's number 51. Shot, looks like it was saved. Clemson trying to respond again. Peruso trying to sneak around with it. Another shot, saved.
Stopped by Gornick. So a couple of great saves there for Kyle Gornick, who has really showed up in this game. Not only has Tennessee produced on offense, but their defense has been pretty solid, and Gornick has saved a bunch of Clemson goals that would have gone in, and to keep this a 4-goal lead for the Volunteers.
So it looks like number 51, Gavin Burke for Tennessee, lost his shoe. Blown tire out there. Kind of hard to play without one of those. We'll get it back over to Jack Scott in the game now for Tennessee, rocking that leg brace. Back over to Ryan Salazar now up top. Salazar, another one of those players where the presence doesn't really show up on the stat sheet. All around great guy, first guy in the gym, last guy out type of player for this Tennessee team. Trying to get down below. A good shot. The speedy Scott couldn't find anything. A race for it. Now Clemson will control and win the possession.
Clemson gets possession here. 30 seconds left in the half. They need to go quickly. Can they get within 3 goals in this one? Is that one just over the head there? And Tennessee's going to pick it right back up. So a missed opportunity there for Clemson, who could have put another one on the board for their 3rd straight goal to end the first half. But here's Tennessee with 20 seconds left. And we're going to have a quick timeout here on the Volunteer bench. 16 seconds. The Volunteers have a chance to get their 8th goal of the game. Increase the lead back up to 5 goals.
You know, John, that might actually be halftime. It looks like they're just going to call this one off. I think the clock. Oh, time. You know what, John? Excuse me.
You don't know
correct.
what you're talking about, Charlie.
Absolutely. Just go ahead and fire me for that.
This is my first lacrosse game, and I know it was a timeout.
Go ahead and fire me for that. I thought the clock was supposed to be running when it wasn't. That one's on me. We'll go ahead and reset that clock. So, like you were saying, John, though, they'll have a timeout here, look to talk things over. What do you want to see from Tennessee here to really set up a good opportunity, maybe find an open lane, get a goal? Who do you want to see have the ball, take the final shot, John?
I think so far the man of the game right here is Tommy Rudo. He's got 2 goals already in this game. If he's out on the field, he can get a prime opportunity. He's scored some nifty goals already, and if he can get his third of the half, maybe in front of the net, maybe on the side, maybe a quick shot. They need to be quick. There's only 16 seconds. I'm giving the ball to him if
Absolutely.
I'm Tennessee.
I agree, John. And I think Clemson, they're going to be playing some heavy defense on him. I'm curious to see. Not able to get it. Not able to get it. And that'll do it.
That last one was headed right for Rudo. If he was able to grab that and get a quick shot, that would have been a spectacular goal. But great last opportunity there for Tennessee. 7-3 for the Volunteers after the end of this first half. They've looked pretty solid so far in this game. 7 goals, great scoring opportunities, great goals themselves, and the top players have come out to play for the Volunteers. And yeah, but that's not to say that Clemson didn't have a great half as well. They were able to gather themselves up a little bit after that rough start. They got 2 goals there at the end, and they've forced it to a 7-3 game here at the end of the first as we prepare for the second half in this game.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Once again, my name's Charlie Sarafian, joined here by John Hansen. We're going to go to halftime. We'll be back here shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third. So far, it's been all Tennessee here. Once again, my name's Charlie Sarafian, joined alongside by John Hansen. John, it's been all Tennessee in this game as the sun sets here in Knoxville, Tennessee. The ALC Conference Game of the Week. Tennessee Volunteers, Clemson Tigers, 7-3. Here we go.
Great game so far, Charlie. Both teams have performed as expected. Maybe Clemson not as much, but Tennessee has shown the willingness to score in this game. They're up 7-3, like you mentioned, 4-goal lead. They have possession here at the start of the third quarter. This should be a fun one, a fun way to close out the night. As like you said, the sun is setting here in Knoxville. It's kind of pretty.
Absolutely, and again, the weather pretty nice. It's been so cold in Knoxville. Didn't sign up for this when I attended the school. Shot on goal, saved by Hennessy. Again, beautiful weather for some club college lacrosse here. So, John, as we mentioned before, it's been all Tennessee. We saw some signs of life from Clemson late in that second period. There's another save by Hennessy, second quarter, as Hennessy makes a good save. But it was a late push led by Wonder, number 8, for this Clemson team. They edged their way back into this one, 7-3, 2 goals in that second. What do you think they got to get going to replicate what we saw towards the end of that second quarter, John?
I think they need to replicate what we saw at the end of the first half. They need to be pushing a little bit more. They need to be taking a lot of shots on net. That means they can't be turning it over after only 2 shots on goal. So they need a lot of prime opportunities. They need some nifty passes and some strong shots if they want to get past Kyle Gornick here, who has stood up for Tennessee so far in this game, and he has looked pretty good for the Volunteers, but things can always break down, and that's what Clemson needs to force if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely, as Rudo making his way back in on the field along with Thomas Guys. Rudo, he's been a star in this one. 2 goals, 2 nifty goals. So clever, able to really get in the zone. Great type of player, high motor, really able to find open lanes, and it's proven to be very helpful for this Tennessee team, John. As Rudo controls up top, facilitating the offense. He's bringing up Guys. Guys going to get this ball. He's going to think about making a move. Gets down in there, takes a shot, saved by Hennessy. Now again, Hennessy, he's been very good in this game. Doesn't really show up on the stat sheet because of those 7 goals scored by Tennessee. It's been more of a lack of defense for Clemson as they're going to look to get another one, and it's saved by Gornick. So again, Hennessy, he's been pretty good in this game. It's just guys like Rudo, Schroll, able to exploit that defense and just find very easy opportunities, John.
Yeah, they've been able to exploit the defense, but like you said, Hennessy has played a great game so far. Nothing he should be worried about. Yes, letting in 7 goals in the first is not ideal, but he's kept his Clemson team in this game, especially when they're not producing on offense. He's made great save after great save to keep this just a 4-goal game. And at the beginning, it didn't seem like it was only going to be 4 goals, but now it's 3 as Clemson gets another one, their 3rd straight goal, and that one, Tyler Superzinski.
That's fun to say, John.
I wonder if he's Polish.
You know, he's got to be something around that area. Superzinski gets them on the board. 7-4 here now. Things are starting to get a little interesting, John. So Clemson slowly edging their way back into this game with the help of Tyler Superzinski. A beautiful goal straight from the middle. Got open, got the shot top right corner where Grandma hides the cookies right past Gornick.
Great goal there from Superzinski. I want to start calling him Superman because that's a tough name to pronounce, but Superman sounds a lot better. But Clemson, 3 goals in a row here. Another offensive shot, and Gornick makes sure that one doesn't go in, but it's now just a 3-goal game. Clemson's the number 1 team in the conference, and now it's starting to show that as things are picking up a little bit here, is Tennessee faltering just a little bit? And if you're a Volunteer fan, that's not what you want to see because Clemson could very easily get back in this game, and we've already seen it right now as it's just 7-4 now for the Volunteers.
Absolutely. Better late than never, though, as Clemson, again, they're showing signs of why they're that number 1 team. Clark with it now. Gets it up top. That's number 38 for Tennessee, Ryan Salazar. Again, Salazar, he's been pretty good in this game facilitating-wise. Very smart with that ball. Back to Clark. Schroll with it, back behind the net, tries to sneak in there. He's being hassled on defense. Chasing after it, it's number 10, Will Tobias. Tobias will scoop this one up, and he'll look to reset here. Gets it over to Spencer Day. Day, looking for the light of day as he makes a spin move. Excuse me, number 24, that's Mason Kane. I didn't see the 1 on the back of the jersey. It was a 2 instead. So Kane tried to get free there.
A lot of yelling now from both benches. Both teams' enthusiasm picking up quite a bit. Tennessee cheering on their offense. Clemson trying to hold the fort on defense just a little bit longer so they have another offensive opportunity to get back in this game. And we do have a turnover here as the Tigers pick it back up.
He just wasn't able to get the shot off as Hennessy will come out of the goal. He'll get that up top to the defense there. Gets it over to Will Leonard. Will Leonard will let it go now. Ground ball for number 4 for Tennessee, Luke Harden. Luke Harden, it's his 24th ground ball on the season. Again, Tennessee, they have a lot of guys who are really able to get involved everywhere. For Tennessee, number 9, Max Damala, 93 ground balls on the season. Guys like that who can really capitalize and get opportunities set up for their team. Those are the guys you really need to get going in this game as Clemson's starting to inch back a little bit. You got to be smart here. So the Volunteers with Gavin Burke up top gets it back over to number 15, Thomas Guys. Makes a move, a shot, they score, and guess who? It's Rudo again, the hat trick.
That's 3 for Rudo. Another quick snapshot. That one was just super slick, as we've seen with every goal from him in this game. Tennessee is responding well to Clemson here. It looked like they were, faltering just a little bit. The Tigers were picking up some momentum, but the man of the game, Rudo, gets Tennessee right back on the scoreboard, and that's their first goal in quite some time as they extend the lead back up to 4 with an 8-4 lead. Rudo, 3 of those 8 goals. He's just been stupendous in this game.
More than stupendous, he's been phenomenal. He has had some incredible shots. None of those shots have come easy. They're all goals that have been created by his playmaking ability. An incredibly fast player. Again, John, guys like that, those are the difference makers in this game as Clemson, they're tightening up on defense. A wild shot. Knocked slowly off the stick of Gornick as Ian Jackson tried to sneak one in there. Clemson looking for their 5th one. It's saved by Gornick. So Gornick will pedal back here. He'll carry on to this one. He'll make his way out of the goal. Gets it over in the middle to number 10, Will Tobias. Tobias backpedaling. Over to Max Damala, as we mentioned earlier. And now Scott with a wide open lane. Back over in the corner to Clark. Clark and Schroll, they've been really good at finding the open men right behind the goals. The ball goes back to number 38, Ryan Salazar. Spinning around, waiting for the open lane. Now back over to Clark. Clark with it. Still holding on to it, the lefty. He'll spin back over to Scott. Back below, a shot, it's saved. That was a well set up play.
Very well set up play, and Hennessy had to be quick on his feet there, and he was able to defend that one. That could have been an easy goal for Tennessee, but Hennessy stood his ground as Clemson makes sure it's not a 9-4 game. Great play there from the goalie for Clemson.
Will Tobias, he had a really good look at it, was left alone wide open in front of Hennessy. Hennessy, though, just a heads-up play to stop that one from going back in. Again, he's had a great game so far.
But the Volunteers get another opportunity here. That's what we've seen in this game. Tennessee's getting quite a few shots on goal each possession, which is something that Clemson can't say for themselves. And that's kind of one of the reasons why the Volunteers have been able to score quite so much, because they're getting all these second chance opportunities. Second, third chance, even fourth, that we're not seeing from the Tigers.
So stoppage of play. We'll get going right here again now. Back over to Scott. Scott getting down low, trying to sneak it in there. Knocked off his feet. It was Schroll. Still trying to hold on to it. Coming the other way now is Clemson. Holding on to it. It's Ricardo Graff. We haven't seen much of him this game as he'll come out now. A very short stint for him is Trevor Buffone. And now ball control by Tyler Superzinski. So Superzinski gets it back over up top. A nice spin move in front. Behind the back pass. Here's the shot up in front. Saved by Gornick. A hectic scene up in front. Pushing and shoving in front of the goal and knocked out of the way. Gornick stood his ground well. Trevor Buffoon thought he could get something going. Trying to hold on to the ground ball. Bodies flying everywhere. What could be a high sticking there.
Some great plays on both sides of the field, some very quick passes, and both goalies have stood their ground. I can't believe either of them stopped those particular shots. Hennessy on the Clemson end, Gornick on the Tennessee end. Both had to react quickly, get their sticks up high, and were able to make the save to keep this a 4-goal game either way.
Sinking back in their own zone. Ball's going to go flying. It's going to be Chase. It looks like Wonder. He'll grab it, and they'll maintain possession here. So Clemson, they're going to have possession here for a little bit, try to get something going. A lot of good playmakers in there right now. Ball goes up over to Trevor Buffone. Buffone back over to the side. Handled by Touchstone. Touchstone back behind the net. Wrapping around. Trying to sneak it in there. Up top to Superzinski. Superzinski diving up top for that ball. He's going to hold on to it. A spin move. Still has it. Looking around, just trying to find anything. Superzinski, he might take a shot here, thought about it, had it locked and ready to go, but he just couldn't get the shot off. Better defense from Tennessee. Superzinski still trying to get one in there, and he's just pushed away, so he'll let this one go up to Landon Snyder. Snyder wraps around. Harden on the defensive side of things, not letting him get through. Back over to Touchstone. Touchstone, wrap around shot, saved by Gornick. Gornick, he's going to hold on to this one. And Tennessee will survive the push. Still 8-4 here. Just under 5 to go now. Approaching 4 in this game. Third quarter. Tennessee up 8-4 here in Knoxville. ALC Game of the Week.
Yeah, Superzinski was trying to create an opportunity all by himself right there. But I feel like Clemson needs to do a little bit more passing, a little bit more of moving the ball around, because that's what's going to trick these Tennessee defenders into being in bad positions so Clemson can take better shots. You're not going to get very far when only one person holds the ball and tries to make an opportunity all on their own.
Absolutely. I mean, that's never a good option. However, Tommy Rudo on Tennessee, he begs to differ. He's done that a couple times. It just seems to be working for them, but it's his teammates who are getting them those open lanes offensively, and they score! It's Jake Schroll, makes it 2 in this game for himself. He's chasing Tommy Rudo's hat trick right now. Tennessee, they'll go up 9-4 in this game.
Second goal there from Schroll in this game. Like you said, just one behind Rudo, and that is the 9th goal for Tennessee. And we're getting some great goals here from not the top goal scorers on the Tennessee team, which just shows the depth of what the Volunteers have on this roster. They have many top-tier goal scorers. Rudo, Schroll, Gies has one as well. The Volunteers so far firing on all cylinders here in the third quarter. It seems like they are a first and third quarter team at least in this game. I don't know about the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and when you have a roster of what looks like, I don't know, 100 guys over there on the bench, you're sure to have some sort of depth as they are fired up. The momentum is flowing here. Right now, Tennessee, they are dominating. I'm sure if they come out of a victory with this one, they might be hitting the bars in Knoxville tonight to celebrate. This team looks absolutely electric right now. The boys are buzzing. Clemson looking to respond. It's Superzinski. Gets it over onto the side to number 3, Ian Jackson. Jackson with it, spins around, nothing there. Superzinski trying to sneak in through. A shot, Gordick saves it. Superzinski goes down, snagged out of the air by number 9 for the Volunteers, Max Damala. Again, as he's barraged by a plethora of Clemson players. Ball in front again, bodies go flying. They'll try to get there on time. Tennessee will regain control and survive and push the other way.
I thought that was a great play there from Clemson. You saw Max DeMella take it away from Tennessee, but then 3 Clemson guys came in and rushed at him and forced the ball to turn it over, and they got yet another shot on goal there. So maybe Clemson needs that aggressive defense from their attackers just so they can quickly turn the ball back over, get some more shots on net, even if they do lose it, because it looked like it was working very well there against Tennessee. And they're 5 goals behind, and they only got about 17 minutes left to play in this game. That's what they kind of need. But here come the Volunteers the other way.
Looking to get one, and they do! Who is it? It's 77 for the Volunteers. Jaden Hasia. It's his first goal this season. Welcome to the show. He gets one for himself, and he is fired up.
It looked like the entire bench just cleared out of the way there to celebrate with Hasia. A fantastic goal on their turnaround there. I don't have words to describe it. That was the most electric goal of this game.
Turn me up, Jaden, as he gets one to go and makes it 10-4 in this game.
3 straight goals here from Tennessee after Clemson had 3 straight of their own. So now the 6-goal lead for the Volunteers we saw when they were leading 7-1 has now been reinstated. And I still can't get over that Hasia goal. Just off of the turnover from Clemson, the quick opportunities for the Volunteers. They're able to get one on the net way past Hennessy. And the Volunteers are just buzzing right now.
Yeah, John, I don't think I've seen anything more electric. And by the way, look at all the fans in attendance for this club lacrosse game on a Friday night. The fans have showed up in numbers as people want to see this Tennessee Club Lax team perform, and they've done so. Jaden Haase, he just got one to go, fired up this crowd and this team. Tennessee is buzzing right now. Volunteers 10-4 as we approach a minute remaining in the third quarter.
I'd probably celebrate like that if it was my first goal of the season as well. Absolutely incredible scenes here.
Unbelievable. Under the bright lights here at the intramural fields at the Tennessee Sports Complex. I've had a couple of flag football games and soccer games here myself. So 30 seconds to go. The Volunteers are looking to make it 11 as they control over in Tennessee zone. It's Rudo. Gets it up top to number 51. Gavin Burke. Burke back to Clark. Clark to Schroll. Schroll thinking about it. Wraps around, thinks about the shot, takes it, loses it. 15 seconds to go. Clemson the other way. They've got a chance here, but they got to be quick. Oh, they lose it. Trying to get the ground ball. Giant hit. Players go colliding. A delayed penalty picked up by the Volunteers. They'll get it back below. A shot. Time running down, and that's going to do it. A wild ending to that third quarter. John, you could not ask for a better club lacrosse game on a Friday night in Knoxville, Tennessee.
It's always a great lacrosse game when the Tennessee Volunteers are winning here. Again, we're not biased, but, you know, the fans know who we're all rooting for. It looked like Clemson had a lot of the momentum at the end of the first half, you know, scoring 3 straight goals, including one at the beginning here in the third quarter, and it looked like the tides were going to shift, but 3 quick successive goals for the Volunteers. They got that 6-goal lead back, and they are just, as we've been saying, they're absolutely buzzing. They're having the time of their lives as the Volunteers here.
I'll tell you what, John, I might be buzzing later after this game. This kind of fired me up. I might go out later. Unbelievable sequence of events as time winded down there. We're going to cut to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Once again, my name is Charlie Sarifi, and joined here by John Hanson. We'll see you shortly for the last quarter of play here on this Friday night. Don't go anywhere.
What? All right, and we are back for the fourth quarter in this great lax game, as the lacrosse players like to call it. It is 10-4 for the Tennessee Volunteers. Both teams have switched sides yet again. Kyle Gornick, who has had himself a great game as the goalie for the Volunteers, he's on your right now. As John Hennessy for the Clemson Tigers, who has tried to keep Clemson in this game. You know, they're only down by 6 goals, but 6 goals is a lot. They would need 6 goals in this quarter alone to even tie this game, and they've only scored 4 all game. Hennessy has done a great job for Clemson. He's tried to keep his team in this game, but the defense for the Tigers has had some crumbling moments in this lacrosse game that Tennessee's been able to capitalize on. They've been able to score. So Clemson needs a lot of offense, very good defense, and they need it to be quick because they got less than 15 minutes to try to make this thing a game yet again.
Head coach for Clemson, Andrew Tobias, I'm expecting him to come up with a little bit of a different play style here in this fourth quarter. What seems to have been working in the second quarter as a giant hit there in the middle. Absolutely laid him out. It was number 88 for the Volunteers. Now, again, as I was saying, head coach Andrew Tobias for Clemson, I'm expecting him to come up with a little bit of a different play style here, as what seemed to be working in that second quarter with the help of Wonder really isn't working now, as they haven't been able to find anything in this game. It's been all Tennessee with a barrage of goals late in that third quarter, and they've woken up here ready to play and take down possibly the #1 team in the ALC as they try to get another one off the post. Now again, Tennessee 4th in the ALC, and you have Clemson #1 as a giant hit. It's going to be a penalty. Someone is down. 2 penalties.
Three flags out on the field.
3 flags. I mean, the ref's just letting them fly. I didn't know he had that many in them, and he looks seriously hurt. That might be Will Leonard for Clemson, as we're going to have training staff and medical personnel attend to him to make sure he is okay. His player's going to take a knee. He got laid out right behind the zone. We hope he's okay. You hate to see scary injuries across all sports.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. The place has gone really quiet here. But Will Leonard gets back up on his feet. He seems to be okay. Took a nasty hit there. Laid him out pretty good. But it looks like it's going to be okay. We'll see if he...
So it looks like there's going to be 2 penalties on the play. It's going to be number 24 for the Volunteers. He's going to get called Mason Kane, and then the bigger penalty, it's going to be number 3, Tommy Rudo. Not a guy you want to see in the penalty box, especially when it's a 3-minute penalty for direct contact to the head.
Yeah,
very dangerous.
That first penalty was a technical penalty, and like you said, the other one, a direct contact to the head. Some very bad penalties there for Tennessee, but for Clemson, they kind of needed that little boost for them to help rise up their own player, Will Leonard. And with the man up, it seems the Tigers have a good opportunity to claw back in this game with just under 13 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. They're really going to need it, and they can definitely get some opportunities here.
Absolutely. Such a dangerous play there. Tennessee, they'll pay for it.
And that one's going to go in. That's exactly what Clemson needed. Number 21, Carter Cabay. That's his 9th goal on the year. As Clemson gets a quick one right after those very demoralizing penalties for Tennessee. And this Tennessee bench is quiet. As Clemson, a big strike right there with the man up. Clemson needs just a few more of those, and we could have ourselves a very close finish here at the end. So very good goal there from Cabay. Like I said, his 9th on the year. A pretty solid player overall for the Clemson Tigers. Someone who's just showing up now, but you need those people for the Tigers to show up now. As Tennessee comes the other way.
Tennessee coming the other way now. Shots, guys, a wild one. That one's going to go all the way up to what looks like could have gone all the way to Kentucky. That one went wide over the net, all the way over the fence. A wild shot there. It's a good sign, though, to see that aggression for Tennessee as Clark now will control for the Volunteers.
You ever been to Kentucky, Charlie?
No, I haven't, and I don't plan on going.
Wow, that's not nice of you to say of my home state.
I apologize. I would actually go to the Kentucky Derby. That's one thing I would consider to throw a little bit of bread down on a pony, but until the Kentucky Derby, I don't think I'll be attending that state anytime soon. Let's see what Schroll can do here as he gets absolutely hassled by a barrage of Clemson Tigers there. He got sandwiched right there in the middle in front of Hennessy.
Yeah, speaking of bread. We're going to have
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. We're going to have a timeout here. Looks like Tennessee wants to recollect themselves after those 2 big penalties on the Volunteers that Clemson was able to score on with the man up. Both teams looking to talk it over just a little bit here. With 11 minutes, 28 seconds to go, 10-5, the Tennessee Volunteers still lead in this game over the number 1 ranked in the conference, the Clemson Tigers. Volunteers looking pretty good in this game.
So as both teams talk things over, it's important to point out Tennessee, a bit of a costly penalty there. Is Tommy Rudo, he's going to be held for about another minute and give or take 15 for that penalty.
We have quite a bit of fans out here tonight for this Friday night. Should be typical. A lot of them standing out here on the field opposite us. So a great crowd here supporting the Tennessee lacrosse team. I'm sure they always show out for these games, and I'm sure they'll show out for the game on Sunday as the Tennessee Volunteers, I believe, take on Michigan State on Sunday at noon. So we'll be covering that game as well, Charlie. So anyone watching, make sure to check us out there.
Hopefully we don't get rained out. Well, I heard it's going to be downpouring, so hopefully we'll have a tent to cover us. That would be ideal. As the Vols looking to try to sneak one in there. Now coming the other way at full speed ahead is Clemson. Gonna try to get something in there. Saved by Gornick. It's scooped up. Another one. Interesting shot. It's gonna be controlled now by Clemson. They'll get to regain possession. Or excuse me, Tennessee will gain possession there.
Looks like that timeout was very beneficial for the Volunteers. Only one shot on goal there for Clemson, just way wide, and Tennessee was able to run the man back, and it goes out of bounds as the Volunteers pick it back up. Long run out there for Gornick, the goalie, going nearly all the way to midfield. Number 33 on the year for Holden Morrison. I said earlier that he's been very quiet in this game, but he finally gets one on the board there, as that is another goal for the Clemson Tigers, and it's now 10-6.
Holden Morrison, we were talking about guys that need to show up, and he is one of those guys. Incredible. 33 goals now on the season with that one there. He is one of those guys who you got to get him going in these games if you want to have a chance. And right now, Clemson, they're down. They're not out. It's 10-6 here in Knoxville as the sun has gone down here and time is winding down. We're approaching under 11 minutes to go, but there's still time for Clemson to maybe come back in this game and get something going.
There is still time left, but I wonder if Holden Morrison, who's the top goal scorer on this team, scoring so late in this game, might it be just a little bit too late? And can Tennessee hold on for just another 10 minutes? That's all they asked for. But Clemson, that penalty on Tennessee, the Tigers really are gaining a lot of momentum here, as that one's just saved by Gornick, trying to keep this just a 4-goal game.
With the hair of his chinny chin chin, he's able to scoop that one up and get this one up the field. So now Tennessee will look to make a push. Penalty is now over for the Volunteers. As they'll look to maybe regain control in this game. So again, John, it's 10-6 here. What does Tennessee need to do to hold on in this game to keep Clemson off their backs?
It seems like Tennessee's spirits have been dampened just a little bit after the 2 quick goals from Clemson. They need to get that enthusiasm back. They need to get some of that confidence back, because if they let their confidence slip just a little bit more, then Clemson could easily make this a 1-goal game within seconds. So Tennessee needs to get some confidence. They need some good shots on net, create some open plays, get back on the board here, and try to extend this lead once again, or else things might start to crumble very, very quickly.
Now the fans really getting into this one as well, as Clemson now the other way. It's number 8, Wonder, as he's going to wrap around. He might try to sneak in. Miscommunications. They'll go out of bounds, and Tennessee will regain control on their own end. So 8 minutes now and 18 seconds to go in this club lacrosse game. Again, the ALC Conference Game of the Week. Number 1, Clemson versus number 4, Tennessee. Now in the game for Tennessee, it's Jake Cosgrove. First guy in the gym, last guy out type of guy. Always shows up for his team as he's going to jog back over to his spot, as Tennessee now will control on the other side.
I didn't think of this, Charlie, but this is a great tactic here from Tennessee. They're trying to milk the clock a little bit. I don't believe they have a shot clock here on the cross. They do have a shot clock, as our cameraman is nodding to us. Thanks, buddy. Like I said, this is our first game. We don't know what we're talking about.
John, I should have hired someone who knew how lacrosse works, but it's fun.
It's all fine, but I think this is a good strategy here for Tennessee. If they want to hold on to this lead, they can just kill a bunch of clock. They're still up by 4 goals as long as they don't turn it over. And they still get some good shots on net, and that one goes in. And who is it again? It's Rudo, number 4.
I'm not surprised. Tommy Rudo with his 4th goal of the game. You must have a girl in the crowd watching or something. I mean, wow, he really came to play. Absolutely phenomenal performance from Tommy Rudo. 11-6. 4 of those goals coming from Tommy Rudo. He is heating up in this game as he's done all game long.
And that goal, Charlie, makes Rudo the top goal scorer on this Tennessee team this season, just like that. It was a tie between Mason Kane and Thomas Guys with 17 apiece before this game. Guys had one to get the record up to 18, but Tommy Rudo had 15 goals going into this game. He just had his 4th tonight, 19 goals on the season for Rudo. He's the top goal scorer for the Tennessee Volunteers.
So that ball is going to go out of play. So just under 7 minutes now to go in this game. Clemson slowly running out of time as Tommy Rudo making it very hard for them to come back. Looking to get another one. An interesting shot. That came from number 22 on Tennessee, Jackson Zimmer, as it looks like he put both hands on that stick. An interesting attempt, trying to get over the head of Hennessy. Not a bad strategy, because Hennessy in this game, he's been really good down low. So now trying to score up top. In the middle, they'll reset. Now scooping it up, it's Harden. Refs will call a stoppage to play there.
Yeah, it was like an overhead shot there from Zimmer, and it looked like he just walked right in, and Hennessy was able to deflect it. But I feel like that was a lapse in defense for Clemson. Maybe their morale is just falling just a little bit as they realize time is winding down, and the deficit just grew larger for the Clemson Tigers. Thanks to
So, referee, he's going to give that over to Tennessee. I could not tell you what he just said. He was speaking so fast. Sounded like an auction or something.
It might have been a
I don't know.
penalty on Clemson.
I don't think they're going to call anything there. They're just going to give possession back to Tennessee here. One thing, though, just to point out, is that Tennessee is dominating right now as far as ground balls. And it's showing, because that's how they're really being able to set up their offense and get these open shots and just keep Clemson at bay. So what proved to not be the most high-scoring game early on has now quickly become a goal-scoring fest, mainly for Tennessee. It's both teams getting good looks up on the board here.
Wonder what is the average number of goals scored in a club lacrosse game.
I actually saw this while I was doing some research on both these teams. And as far as in this conference, the average goal scored across most teams in total, when you're looking at total, is about 26. And that's only
between both teams?
Between both teams as far as the ACL conference. And that's gathering a bunch of stats and information. Now, I don't know how correct that would be because of how often these games happen and how often it's updated. But what I can tell you, just looking off the schedules for a lot of these teams, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, Clemson, it ranges around that number between 23 and 27 in total. But again, Tennessee, one of those teams, very versatile. They can defend well. However, they can also get goals up there on the board.
Here comes Clemson. Nick Fusaro, who had the ball. He's got a goal in this game for the Clemson Tigers, and that one's going to go in. It's going to be number 26 for Clemson again, Hayden Morrison. That's his second goal of the game. Yet another one for the top goal scorer on the Clemson Tigers. And I said this earlier, but he's picking up the pace now. He's got 2 goals in the past 5-10 minutes. But is it just too late for the Tigers for him to be scoring such great goals? But it's now 11-7 for the Volunteers as they win the faceoff. Less than 5 minutes to go. Big hit on the back of number 9. Max DeMella.
So referee's going to get a warning over to the sideline, telling him to back up there. Tennessee, you got to be careful. Control your emotions here. You're up in this game. You don't want to make any hasty mistakes. So some explicits, excuse me, not superlatives, explicits coming from both benches here.
They can be superlative explicits.
Whatever you want to call it. You hear them a lot, especially on a college campus. Troll, nice spin move, holding onto it, shot, not able to find it, went a little to the right of Hennessy. Hennessy might have gone a knee or a foot on it. So, head coach for Clemson, Andrew Tobias, he's going to look to get his bench really involved as far as hyping up his team and getting some energy, because that's where Clemson seems to strive. As Rudo, he was looking for 5, couldn't get it. But again, Clemson, they're riding off momentum, and every time they score, it seems to disappear just a little bit. However, guys like Holden Morrison, who's now showed up in the second half, are really kind of putting that momentum back into this team.
I wonder how much this game would have been different had Morrison been scoring just a little bit more in the first half. We could have ourselves a much closer game if Clemson's top goal scorer was producing as often as he usually does. As we're going to have a turnover here. Loss of possession there for Tennessee. As Clemson regains possession, but like I said, Morrison, had he been producing a lot earlier, we could have had ourselves a close game, but I feel like even though he's got 2 goals in this game, which is tied for the most with Jack Wonder here on the Clemson Tigers, it just might be a little bit too late.
And, you know, John, you bring up a good point. You ask yourself that question, the hypotheticals. Now, again, sports, it's not really the biggest place for hypotheticals in the game time. It is what it is. However, you ask yourself, what would have happened if he got going early on in this game? And I really think it would have been different. As Clemson gets one to go, it is now 11-8. They are slowly creeping back. Number 31 for the Tigers, Nick Fusaro, slips it past Cornick, and now they're going to talk things over. John, things just got incredibly interesting.
Things did get very interesting. That's the second of the game for Fusaro. He only had 3 goals on the season going into this game. Keep in mind, Holden Morrison had about 11 times that. But Fusaro has scored 40% of the goals that he has scored all season, so he's had himself a fantastic game. And Clemson has just now made it a 3-goal game with 3 minutes to go. They need 1 goal per minute here once again.
Clemson leading the charge the other way, trying to inch back into this game. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain in this one. Down 3. If you're the Tigers, you got to go now. A shot. Easy save there for Cornick. Gornick will get this up onto his right side. Jake Cosgrove making his way up the field. Here he goes, the Long Island native. Gets back, gets it up to number 24 for the Volunteers, Mason Kane. Kane will wrap around. He'll get it over on the right side. Trying to sneak around. Over to Guys. Approaching 2 minutes to go. Tennessee up 11 to Clemson's respective 8. Guys back in front. Shot! Score! Holding on to the lead. It's number 51, Gavin Burke. Heartbreak for Clemson. A good feeling if you're Tennessee. Now a little bit more of a cushion. Up 12-8, 2 minutes to go.
A great lengthy possession there for Tennessee. They took their time. They made sure they had a great chance on net. That's the second one for Burke in this game. 12-8 now for Tennessee, and I might have to say that one's going to be the dagger in this one, Charlie. I don't think Clemson could get 4 goals in just 2 minutes and claw back to tie this game. So overall, a very solid game for the Volunteers, but Clemson is really trying as number 14 comes in and a great save for the Tennessee goalie.
And it looks like the timeout might have been called before the shot. What a save there from Gornick. I mean, he has been on fire. Both these goalies have made incredible flashy saves in this game. Clemson calling things over here, looking to see what they got to do. I'm expecting Andrew Tobias. I thought he was going to do it early on, switch things up, but he's going to have to do it now. Now, again, not much time to come back. 1:46 to go in this game. ACL Game of the Week. We've said it once. I'll say it again. John, Clemson, you have to be very careful here. No turnovers, no mistakes. You almost have to be perfect if you want to get 4 goals and tie up this game and head to an overtime.
They definitely need to be perfect. They also need to be accurate because they can't be going out here and missing shots because that's just going to kill more of the clock. So a lot of these you're going to need to score on your first or second attempt. You're going to have to go back up to the face-off circle, win the face-off, come back the other way, score 4 goals. But with only about 106 seconds left on the clock, I don't know if that's going to be possible for Clemson, just based on how they've performed in this game.
Not impossible, though. We've seen crazier things. Tennessee 12, Clemson 8. 1:46 seconds to go. 4th quarter of play. You're watching Tennessee Club Sports Network here on Rocky Top, brought to you by Charlie Sarafian and John Hansen. Right now, Clemson looking to inch their way back. Superzinski in the middle, a shot, a wild one to the left. So like you said, John, stuff like that, you can't allow it to happen. You have to score on those first, second chance opportunities and not let this game get out of hand. Still looking for it. Absolutely hassling him, getting it back up top. Clemson trying to sneak back through. It's number 3 in Jackson. Jackson back over to Wonder. Jack Wonder. He's got it back up. Now looking for it. Trying to sneak through. Barrage of defenders in front. Can't get through. Holden Morrison. And now a penalty flag coming. We'll get a stoppage to play. 1:02 to go. A huge hit.
That
Another
was a
player
big
down.
hit, but that was an ill-timed hit for Tennessee. You can play good defensively in the dying seconds of a close game, but you can't be taking shots like that and laying Clemson players down on the ground as flags flew out, as the umpires are going to have to call something on Tennessee. So the Volunteers will be a man down only for about 1:07 left in this 4th quarter, but we'll see what the call is here from the referee.
So it's going to be Tennessee. It's number 42.
It looks like it's going to be a cross-check plus a shot to the head.
Michael Matarazzo. So they'll get him for that one. And it looks like that'll sit him for the rest of the game.
It may not mean much here with only 1:07 left, as Clemson has another man-up opportunity, which we've seen them score in this game before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get one very late here. But I feel like Marazzo should not have taken that penalty this late in the game.
Again, like you said, a little bit illy timed there, but still a chance for Clemson. 40 seconds to go. Time slowly winding down. You got to get a goal within 5 or 10 seconds here if you want any sort of chance, and I really don't see that happening. A shot blocked, and that save, that block, that could be the dagger, John. As Tennessee, they are being incredibly aggressive now.
And it's going to be Tennessee ball, and I feel like they can just hold on to this one with just 24 seconds left. The Volunteers are going to ride to a victory here. A very, very great, solid win here against the Clemson Tigers. It got close at moments, but I feel like ever since the first quarter, Tennessee had a lead, and they intended on keeping it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Your Tennessee Volunteers hold on and win this game, taking down the number 1 seeded Clemson Tigers in the ALC South Conference. They are fired up. An incredible performance from the team all around. Looking at individual standouts. What a game from
everyone.
I was lost for words for a second. Excuse me. Tommy Rudo, the MVP of the game. 4 goals, unofficial MVP of TCSN, Club Sports Network, player of the game. It's going to be Tommy Rudo, but I want to give credit to Kyler Gornick. You got to give credit where credit is due. What an effort all around from this Tennessee Volunteer Club lacrosse team. They played from start to finish. They played hard. What a game, John. What a thriller.
Gornick played very well in this game. He had some great saves to keep Clemson out of it just a little bit. But like you said, my MVP, my top star, if we were to give out 3 stars in this game, my first star goes to Tommy Rudo. 4 goals. Just an incredible performance. All of the goals very slick, very sweet. They looked very nasty out there, and he currently is now the leading goal scorer on this Tennessee roster. I'll give my second star to the Clemson goalie, John Hennessy. He had a great performance here. It may not look like it on the scorecard, but he very much kept Clemson in this game when it looked like they were out of it just a little bit. So for Clemson only lose by 4, it very much seemed like it was a lot more than that, but Hennessy had a great part in keeping that just a 4-goal game. And my third star, I'm going to give it to Jaden Hosea, who had his first goal of the season and probably the most electric goal of this game. And maybe of all the games we're going to commentate to come, because that was a great goal from him and very exciting for the Tennessee Volunteers.
And I'll tell you what, John, again, like you said, hopefully there's many more to come, because that was nothing short of thrilling. What a game from the Tennessee Volunteers. A phenomenal effort, a phenomenal job. They were all around great on both sides of the ball. Again, John, what a thriller. Able to really hold on to that lead and come back right when things got close. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. My name is Charlie Sarafian, joined here by John Hanson. It's been a fun one. Get home safe. Good night. Welcome to Knoxville. You're watching TCSN, Tennessee Club Sports Network, here on Rocky.
Goodbye from Knoxville.
Goodbye from Knoxville, I should say that. Thank you, John.
Yes.